Alrighty, folks, welcome to the final day of Shipfest Season 2, brought to you by LG Ultragear. My name is Captain Nadia, and boy oh boy, what a season it has been. It's all come down to this final day. Everything is up for grabs, no position for any of the major prizes is certain. And we're going to kick things off with Indian Naval Command going up against the Soviet Union. Now, INC, unfortunately, they've been playing the entire season with a man down. Today, they're two men down, but the Soviet Union team was gracious enough to play 3v3. So they still maintain their maximum one bot team composition. We've got on the side of INC still looking for their first win, 2017 and Skin 84 on the Vladivostok and Talon, whereas Bot Kuznetsov is going to be on the Lightning. On the side of the Soviet Union, you've got Archeon on the Lightning, Dinjo at the helm of the Baltimore, and Tom Cyrex in the glorious special camo Vladivostok. It, before the match, I would say most people would write off Indian Naval Command, but they've shown a lot of spirit hanging on so far in the league, and despite the fact they've played most of the tournament with just three members, they've still come close to winning a couple of times. Bot Kuznetsov gets spotted out in the middle, but the gunfight ensues between him and Archeon. The first few shots don't land. The bot's really got to make use of the fact that, hey man, you're looking at the game code. You got to do a bit better, right? It's supposed to be hard bots. And when you're playing in the training room, they're not that bad, but I think in this situation. Unfortunately, they're just a bit potato as the lightning is gonna fall and the early numbers game, as expected, swings in the favor of the Soviet Union. INC must now figure out how to utilize these two heavy ships to turn the tide against Soviet Union, who don't really have to do much. You know, they can hang back. They've got the kill points. They've got one ring. Um, right. So they have all the advantage they need. It is, the initiative is on INC whether or not they're gonna be able to get back into this. And what I don't think INC realize is that all of Soviet Union is on their other flank. Shots going up from the Vladivostok towards the Baltimore, and yikes! That was a bit of a potato. Not the kind of shots that are going to get them back in the game. The Talon going to be the first out. Going to get hard spotted there by Archeon. Shots coming out from the Vladivostok does a good amount of damage. The Baltimore using those lofty shells from well within cover, as the INC Vladivostok also not able to get shots off onto the Baltimore. And these torpedoes, they should be way out of range for the Vladivostok at least, and 2017 is gonna just sail by them without any trouble at all. But oh my god, is the Vladivostok gonna take one? And yes, that is one snipe for Archeon. He manages one shot. His radar's on, by the way, so he does. 2017's radar is on, so he's gonna be spotting Archeon. He's gonna get another salvo, maybe two, before Archeon is gonna disappear. And no. And by the way, in all this time, we've actually lost two rings in favor of Soviet Union, so it is getting very tricky for the side of INC to really get back into this. Soviet Union huddled up, and beautiful crossfire coming in from the Baltimore and the Vlad, doing a boatload of damage to 1017. They're all huddled up behind that island, making it very difficult for these two to get any sort of headway here. 1017 down to 13,000 HP, looking very difficult for INC to turn it around. But props to them for not giving up, still showing up. But unfortunately, it looks like their season will indeed end winless the way this is going. And short of a detonation, I do not see that changing. Beautiful looking torpedoes coming in from Archeon. We're going to hold this angle as the Vladivostok looks to pass. 1017's Talon goes down, and now Skin 18. He should be taking at least two of those torpedoes. And that is a lot of damage. Potential flood? No. No flood yet. Is he gonna try and ram and get a kill for pride? At least get the team on the board here. Oh no. Tom Cyrex. This is one of those dream shots you kind of look out for when you're playing in a battleship against a Vladivostok. And he does not let the opportunity pass. Flawless game coming out from the Soviet Union. They're going to see off the threat from INC to finish off their season, folks. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break as we bring you more matches. Everything is up for grabs. 5th place to 1st place. Nothing is certain. This is what it's about. Who's going to finish in the money? Who's going to get all those doubloons and all that premium time? All that action coming your way right here. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, folks, to the final day of Shipfest Season 2. We've got Death Brigade going up against Bichugang Max, teams fighting for the 6th spot. Death Brigade have won only a couple of matches so far, if I'm not mistaken. If they win this one, they will be even on points with Bichugang Max, but will leapfrog them due to the head-to-head rule. Bichugang Max trying to one up and potentially look at a 5th place finish. If they can get more points on the board. It's going to be an exciting matchup. Let's take a look at the team compositions here. On the side of Bichugang Max, you've got Sid Admiral in the Talon. You've got Moscow Chikna in his Bismarck. You've got Captain Seawahawk in the Baltimore. And then you've got Torpedo in that Lightning. We've seen some great plays with the DD by him in the tournament so far. And hopefully we get to see some more. Gummy Deepak in that Act camouflaged Lightning. Being supported by Boyapati in the Edinburgh. That's been a staple for them. Switchkun in that Act Fibernet camouflage Hipper. Is that the Act Fibernet camo? Yes, it is. And then coming slowly strolling behind, you've got Varaprasad in the Vladivostok, the first radar coming out from the Edinburgh. I'm not sure it's gonna spot Torpedo. Doesn't quite have the range, but I think the Baltimore would have been spotted as the counter radar comes in from the Talon, and Gummy Deepak is most certainly visible to the enemy. You see the lightning preemptively smoke up to try and fire on Gummy Deepak. He takes a bit of damage there. Thankfully not too much. He's made himself narrow, but that's not gonna protect him completely. Loses 3000 HP already as the Talon's quickfire radar is going to run out in just another couple of seconds. He really needs more support from his teammates. The Edinburgh using that island cover. We've seen teams focus heavily on one side to sort of bamboozle the enemy and get a great head start. It seems to be something that Death Brigade is working on this time, as Gummy Deepak is still spotted. Is that the Baltimore radar on? No, it's not. Gummy Deepak, I think, still being just blind fired there, as Torpedo does a lot of damage. 50% HP remaining only as Gummy Deepak looks to reposition. The Vladivostok sending shots out on a broadside Bismarck. Should be good. Nope. Land just short as he does no damage. Torps away from both DDs. No consequence to those, but Bichugang Max have secured the outer ring and have put some distance between themselves. 415 to 490 in favor of Bichugang Max as they get the advantage early on in the match. Good solid damage coming out from the Bismarck as Captain Seahawk is going to take a massive salvo from Varaprasad's Vladivostok. He's going to be looking at returning the favor to Switchkun, who's already down to 19,000 HP. Gummy Deepak shooting as well on the Baltimore. Varaprasad fires with his rear guns as well as he opens up the angles to do a bit more damage. The Bismarck takes the Hipper down to 14,000 HP. And the question is the Vladivostok going to be able to land one more salvo? Captain Seahawk seems to be inching ahead to try and maintain shooting angles onto Switchgun, but I do not foresee any support coming in from Varaprasad as Switchgun's fate is all but sealed at this point. 6,000 HP. He needs to get to that island cover somehow in 5 seconds. But with the secondary fire from the Bismarck and the Baltimore's higher fire rate supporting as well, perma fire, and the Baltimore's gonna finish him for the kill. Sorry about that. Unfortunate start for Death Brigade as Bichugang look to see out the last match of the league in style. They have the points, they have the ship's advantage. Gummy Deepak extremely low on HP, but it's still not out of reach for Death Brigade. The Vladivostok should potentially be able to see this Baltimore inching out of the island. The shots have come out as well. He is 100% visible at this point, folks. If he gets a solid salvo onto the side, that can turn things around. But as of now, all we see is a perma fire, and there we go. The Vladivostok shots coming out, and ooh, that Baltimore's gonna feel that one in the morning for sure. Great shot there by Vara Prasad. Knew he has the angles to make it work. Now he's just got to be a bit wary that yes, there might be torpedoes coming. I think he is already preemptively turning, but those refires, they are going to be hurting him a lot. For a second there, I thought those torpedoes might just cause a bit of inconvenience, sorry, to Boyapati. Shots coming in from both cruisers as Boyapati is going to beach himself trying to get away. AP salvo as well should do a bit of damage. 2000 HP, not much, but could have been 100% avoided. Boyapati in a world of trouble now as he is hard spotted. I think thanks to the lightning, and unless he does something fast, it's gonna get very difficult for him. Talon's quickfire radar once again comes in as Gummy Deepak is all but out of this game due to his low HP right now. The Bismarck within secondary range as it begins to pummel the Vladivostok. The Edinburgh gets taken out. Not what they wanted. Just when it looked like, maybe the Vlad was turning things around to help out. Oh, great salvo coming in towards Vara Prasad. I don't think Torpedo could have played it any better. This is gonna be thank you, come again, as the Vladivostok is sleeping with the fishes. Or fish, rather. It's all down to Gummy Deepak. 4000 HP and a dream. Blind fires coming in from Torpedo. He's looking to just bait out as many shots as he can. Torps gone towards Gummy Deepak as the radar is on. That's just insult to injury. I don't think this is gonna end well. Well, if the Baltimore does get another salvo, but no, not gonna be giving them that chance as Bichugang Max, without dropping a single ship, are gonna see off Death Brigade to finish off their season strongly. No redemption in the end for Death Brigade as they will finish in the bottom half of the table. We're going to take a quick break, folks, and then we're going to be back with the first of our two double-header finals. We're going to have shot callers versus, if I'm not mistaken, let's have a look. We're going to be doing shot callers versus... Is it going to be crazy? Yes, shot callers versus crazy. So the potential scenario we have here, folks, is if crazy win, which there's a good chance because crazy is the only team that's beaten. Now that was a bro moment. So far unbeaten till yesterday. Dropped their first match against crazy. Shot callers have already lost to. So, they're a bit shaky on form. If crazy manage to beat shot callers, we're going to have a three-way tie between shot callers, crazy, and potentially Soviet Union, if I'm not mistaken. Now that's gonna kind of complicate life because they've all beaten each other on head-to-head, so there's no way to determine it without another playoff. And then of course the grand finals, radioactive versus, now that was a bro moment, winner takes all. Both are tied on points. Whoever wins this one is going to take the championship and the lion's share of that cash prize pool. So we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to be back with all that action for your viewing pleasure. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks. This is it. This is what we've all been waiting for, the exciting doubleheader on the final day of Shipfest Season 2, brought to you by LG Ultragear. First up, we have Shot Callers versus Team Crazy. Now, the fight is for third place, but potentially, if Crazy do manage to win it, we're going to have Shot Callers, Crazy, and if I'm not mistaken, Soviet Union all tied on points for third place. That's going to be a bit of an interesting situation to figure out. But before we get there, we've got one hell of a match. You've got Team Crazy, the only team to have beaten the league leaders, now joint leaders. Now that was a bro moment so far. Shot callers, the reigning champions, having slipped up twice already this season. Valk joins me for this match. How do you see it playing out? Do you think Crazy has that momentum, or will shot callers, rely on their experience to see this one out?
Look, I mean, first of all, what two games? And you described it perfectly. I mean, you cannot have a better two games to end your league season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, in terms of this particular match, I would have to probably lean a little bit towards shot callers, simply because these guys have the experience of winning this tournament, right? The last year, and big matches bring with it big nerves. They, I mean, in big matches in general, it is about who holds their nerve better, who looks at the scoreboard more practically, doesn't panic. So
Also,
we just have
while we were setting the stage, shot callers have actually lost a massive chunk of HP. Awesome, down 17,000 HP. Varun, we usually don't see him in an uncomfortable situation. He's down 11,000 HP. That is not the start shot callers were expecting.
yeah, they've come under fire pretty quickly. I have to say they're going for a pretty standard configuration for this map, where the Baltimore tries to deny the center and the mid cap. The Talon being a little more long range. Although I have to say the Talon is moving up quite close to the outside cap. Generally, what we see is it's a little further back out. But in this particular map, the map border is pretty close to the outer circle.
Yeah,
So that
also
is
look at this, look
probably
at this.
why.
The Talon's radar has actually spotted out the lightning,
Wow.
and Sierra 117's coming under tremendous fire, folks. The Baltimore Lightning and Talon all doing a lot of damage. Do they have one more salvo in them? Or is the Baltimore going to chain radar afterwards? It seems Sierra
Coming
is gonna
down to
survive just with
yeah,
just a
coming
bit.
down to a third health for a DD basically makes the gameplay very, very
Puts the
careful for
fear
the
of
rest of the
God in
match.
you.
Yes. And the rest of the match then becomes basically about surviving more, and a DD with 18,000 health can take some risks and can get away with some stuff. A DD caught in the open with 6,000 health, maybe not so much,
What's
right?
this? What's the detection range on a lightning?
I
Because
think
it's gonna be interesting whether Invader's gonna try and play aggressive to spot out Sierra 117. Is he gonna risk that?
I doubt that. I mean, there's a Cleveland and a Vladdy right there. I doubt that's going to happen. And the fact that he's actually capping the center cap tells him that Sierra's actually taken leave
Hmm.
and he's gone out to the outer circles, right?
And look at how
So,
he's actually circling a bit towards the center, right? He's inching closer to try and maybe spot him. Get into that spotting range, spot him, and then immediately turn out. He doesn't want to get too close, but at the
yeah,
same time, he wants to try and get information. The center cap is with shot callers, folks.
yeah, and these are area denial tops for the Vladivostok. Or double radars coming in. I think invaders caught in the radar from the Cleveland.
Yes, but so is
So,
Sierra 117. Shots coming out once again as ooh, he's
wow.
gonna lose another half of his remaining HP down to 3,000 points. Is this the final salvo, folks? He dodges one, he dodges the second as Sierra 117 being forced outside.
Wow.
Essentially, all the caps.
Both the TDs have taken quite a bit of hits. but I think Invader is still on half health. But Sierra Marksman, he's got to play super carefully now. And the problem with Sierra Marksman right now is that both flanks have
Radars. Yeah,
radars.
he's not safe
So
anywhere.
basically, the center cap is not available at all
Hmm.
right now for
And it's
Sierra.
the center too now, the center and the middle ring. So, shot callers have actually done great in how they position themselves.
Ooh,
But the
but he got a
question is,
couple of pops off.
Varun's
Yeah,
going very aggressive. And, is he
questionable
going to be.
push, I've got to say. Wouldn't you
Uh,
agree? I mean, they have the center and the mid ring. I don't really see the point of this push, although he does have good shots on applied mechanics. Let's see if he can make them count, but he's giving a lot of broadside to Lord Dipesh.
Yep, and you can see that Lord Debesh punishing him a little. The battleship down to less than 8,000, and that's two fires, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
On.
that's a single fire. That's a
Is
single
that the
fire.
single?
Yeah, that's a single fire. He's got fire prevention, but I don't think he's gonna live. I think he's going down. Can he take applied mechanics with him? No, he can't.
I mean,
Was that a
he
worthy
did a
trade?
solid amount of damage, kept them occupied, and now the question is, will Awesome be able to, prevent Marksman from coming back in and applied mechanics from pushing through?
I mean,
It's
he does have room to go a little further and then, be able to get shots on the Baltimore of applied mechanics without the Vladdy having shots on him. However, that's going to be a bit of a HP trade, and at the
also
end of the
look at
trade, he
this
might.
great Tods going out from. Oh my God! Finishes literally at the ship. Lord Dipesh must be thanking his stars, folks. Invader spotted once again. I think that's the radars coming out. He is gonna be scared for his life. Down to
Tops,
3,000
those
health.
tops on awesome, those tops on awesome. He should take one, I think. He takes one, and now all applied mechanics needs to do is just push forward and take him out.
Invader got picked off, by the way.
Wow, Invader died. That's wow. Awesome died. Not what I had expected, to be very honest.
Not what
But
anybody expected. But,
but I have to say, I mean, crazy just held their nerve, even though Marksman had gone down to 1200 health. They still kept. They were still patient. I
mhm,
think short just once they got Sierra down to such low health, they thought they had it in the bag,
yeah.
and they made that push
I,
too
th- I,
early.
I think losing that battleship early on really, cost them a lot of control on that flank.
Yeah, and that was just overconfidence. I have to say that was just basic overconfidence.
I
And
think
now it's
we've
just a
actually
case of
spoken
finishing off.
about Varun usually being, more composed and on point throughout the tournament. And
Yeah.
I think that one flaw we saw from him is actually going to end up costing these guys a crucial match, and it's actually going to send the three teams tied for third place into a playoff after the streams today.
I have to say that was a very, very questionable push from Varun. They didn't need to do that. They had the center ring and they had the middle ring, which was occupied. The middle ring was occupied by Crazy, but they still had it, right? So the points were still ticking in. All they needed to do was contest the last ring,
Mm-hmm.
and they could have let Crazy make the moves
Yeah, they will
and
get
pick them off one by
the
one.
double points from center and middle caps.
Yeah, the
Would have
middle
been
cap
enough
was
to
actually,
put a
yeah, the
few
middle cap was,
100-point lead
yeah. The middle
in
cap was
place.
actually not earning them any points because the Vladdy and the Cleveland were in the middle ring, so it was in their
No, no,
control. It
no.
was,
So I'm actually looking at the replay right now, right? At the
yeah,
point
yeah,
where Invader and the Baltimore died, they were
yeah.
all in the outer ring. The entire team
Wow,
was in the outer ring,
wow.
and
Yeah,
still that
I
aggressive push cost them. But
questionable play. I have to say, very questionable play. Uh, Crazy. Hats off to them. They kept their cool, even though Sierra. came down to 1200 HP, they still made sure that, they didn't make any stupid moves. They didn't just give up. And they let Shot make the mistakes. Shot did not need to push in, especially Varun did not need to push in. I just didn't understand that play at all. I think once they knew that Sierra was pushing back, they just thought, okay, you know what? This is an opportunity. Let's just take the Baltimore of applied mechanics out. Unfortunately, they had cross shots from the Vladivostok and Cleveland coming
And
in,
I think he took some torpedoes.
and he took some torpedoes. I mean, while Lightning was not in the center cap, he was still around.
Yeah.
You can't just because a DD on one health is still super deadly.
Yep.
We know that from every mode of this game, right? So I don't know what that push was. I'm very, very sure they regret that push.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure they know they screwed up.
Yeah.
They can't blame it on anyone else. I know they know they screwed up because they're a good team. They're a really good team, and I think they underestimated. Uh, I think they underestimated Crazy this
And
time.
I
And
think
but well played
Crazy
to Crazy.
showed that, and more importantly, I think Crazy showed that, hey, beating Now That Was a Bro moment yesterday was not a fluke, right?
Yeah,
They beat the current
yeah,
league leaders, they beat the reigning champions,
yeah.
and now they've put themselves in a situation where they can potentially be in the money as well, folks. That was the first of our two games, guys. We're going to take a quick break and then be back with the match that will decide our champion for Shipfest Season 2. We're going to have Now That Was a Bro moment going up against uh, Radioactive. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. back, folks. This is what it's about. Radioactive versus Now That Was a Bro Moment. Both tied on 21 points, 7 wins apiece, having lost only one game so far. The winner of this match will be crowned champion of Shipfest Season 2. 7,500 rupees in cash and a boatload of doubloons, 100 India camo each. For each player, by the way, that is a lot on the line. The cash prize, of course, is the team prize, but everybody gets their individual share of doubloons, 100 India camo, premium time. So there's definitely a lot riding on this. Then, of course, there is the pride that goes with being the best team in the country. Now, Valk, this I'm not. I think I'm pretty sure this was the match you missed last time when Bromomo took on shot callers on this very map, Big Race, and we see Bazinga Flux picking the Le Fantastique once again. They are here for a fist fight. Look at him inching closer, going outside. What's the detection range on the Akizuki?
I think it should be somewhere around 6. And what a match! I hope it goes down to the very last second. I really want this to be super exciting. I mean, the last match that we commented on was pretty
It
exciting,
was it
but
was unexpected for sure.
not for the expected reasons. But these two teams, I mean, imagine top of the table teams. They've never played each other in this tournament, at least, and they're both tied for first place. And this match decides who wins. I mean, you can't get it more exciting than that. This is like the World Cup finals of any sporting game.
Absolutely, we're actually lucky that the league is not a foregone conclusion. Crazy, I think. Not only did they throw a wrench in Now That Was a Bro Moment's plan for a flawless season, they actually caused havoc in the middle of the table with now
Yeah.
third, fourth, and fifth place teams all tied. Crazy. Despite dropping a couple of games this season, they actually have beaten the current favorites as well as the reigning champions both in one season, and that's certainly an accomplishment and a half in itself.
Yeah, and look at that. Radioactive actually getting points from the center circle, because now at least Bazinga Flux has moved into the center circle to contest it, but and worst DD player as well. So, but they've already given away 35 points. I know 35 points doesn't sound like a lot, but the thing is, you have to understand these both teams are going to be a little circumspect. So you're not going to see a lot of switches between caps. Caps aren't going to switch hands all that much. Although the center cap right now is going away uncontested. So I'd be curious to see if Radioactive actually start contesting it. But any caps that you get initially are worth their weight in gold when you're going up, when there's two big teams going up against each other that are so good. So early advantage, I would say, for Radioactive. Let's see if they can hold on to it. Although I have to say, now that was a bro moment. Let's just call them bro moment for brevity. Bro moment seems to have gotten the center cap as well. So some of the points being got back.
Yeah, they're gonna start catching up, and now they're gonna actually stop and think twice about their pushes because Alice Rain's Albemarle is on the flank here, but has taken a lot of damage. Not what they were hoping for at this stage in the game, right? They were really hoping to catch them off guard right now. But look at this. The Le Fantastique is going to come out, going to get spotted. And Alice Rain, if anything, he's going to want to take down that little mini gunboat because that is the biggest threat to Salty Balance's Akizuki.
I'm
With the
kind
Le
of
Fantastique
surprised.
out, they will
I'm
be
kind of
able to
surprised
push
with
more.
Bazinga Flux's move there. I mean, what was the reason behind going all out gunboating? Because now, if you see, um, Pratik's Baltimore is also inflicting quite a bit of pain on him, and he's down to 9,000 HP. Taking down an Albemarle is not all that easy. If he just goes behind that island, he can always heal a whole bunch of that health back. Remember, it has that zombie heal. Oh no, wait, this is tier 8.
No, no, the Albemarle does
Oh
have the
yeah,
zombie heal.
Albemarle does get the zombie heal. So all he has to do is just retreat behind this island, and nobody from the other flank is going to be able to shoot at him,
Yeah, but
even
look
if
at
he's
this. Look at
radared by
this.
the
He
Baltimore.
he he is just pummeling that Albemarle. He is not stopping.
Wow.
Most of the shells are shattering, but 300 damage every salvo. It is eventually going to add up, and Olus Reign's Albemarle is already down to 6,400. Make that
Wow.
5,000 hit points, and that is looking dangerous. I think this is potentially going to be his last salvo onto Bazinga Flux's Le Fantastique, as he's
Wow.
gonna go down.
All right. I take it back. You know what? You have to admit when you're wrong, and I was wrong. They took him down,
And
man.
look at
And
this, the Vladivostok's going for a ram. And that is a trade we did not expect at this stage in the game. It is down to Salty Balance and Pratik's Baltimore. Now, I don't know where this one's gonna go. On
yeah.
paper, the momentum, I mean, on paper, Bruh has the advantage. The momentum, I would still say, is in Bruh's favor. Salty Balance just within radar range. Oh, he would have been hoping to get that cap off before being spotted, and now he's gonna have to run for his life.
Wow. I did not see this happening. I mean, generally, when you see two really good teams, two top. Oh, he's going down. Salty Balance goes down. Wow. I really don't. I don't have any words. I mean, now they're just going all out. It's just
Yeah,
one Baltimore against two Baltimores and a Le Fantastique. Pratik doesn't know who to shoot against.
there's nothing Pratik can
He
do.
doesn't
I
know who
think
to angle against because
worst
there's two
DD play,
Baltimores.
worst DD
Yeah,
player is just gonna ram and finish.
there's two Baltimores on either flank and it's done. The match is over. Wow.
Bloody hell, that's all I can say for that one.
Okay, that was, I have to say, that was a little underwhelming. I'd love to know your thoughts, but for me, that was underwhelming.
Yeah, honestly, I expected Radioactive to put up a bit more of a fight. Uh, I think on paper, Radioactive did everything that was, they followed their battle plan. But as you know, no plan survives contact with the enemy. And as soon as that Albemarle was found out, all four members of Bruh focus fired, right? And that is the time Salty Balance, Admiral and Pratik had to really step up and do something against the other two ships still inside the caps, because Olus Rain just had to potentially bide his time, get a little bit further back, because I think he got a bit greedy, he got a bit excited. He was like, oh, you know what? I've got a cruiser and the Le Fantastic. I can finish them both and I can win this for my team. Had he been a bit more cautious, a bit more patient, right? Bazinga was outside the cap. The cruiser was essentially not in a position to help out the other teammates with the other three ships. They had created a situation where the others could have taken advantage of a 3v2. But unfortunately, you know, the smart play came in from Bazinga. We questioned why would he gunboat, but that gunboating actually confused Olus Rain even more. It made him double down on that push, and instead of pushing back, he just stood there and shot more, and they punished him for it.
Yeah, that was the turning point. Two things. Alice Rain, I've still not understood how to pronounce his name. Alice Region. Alice Region had room behind that island to
Absolutely,
retreat
and it
and
was a big
recover his
island.
health.
Nobody could have shot him.
Nobody could have shot him. He had the opportunity to back off. He didn't.
Yeah,
He
it's
thought
because
he
he
could
saw
still.
Bazinga.
Yeah,
Bazinga went.
he saw Bazinga and he thought he could take Bazinga down because Bazinga was, remember, down to 9k,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Bazinga was
yeah.
down to 9k and he doesn't have a heal. So anything you do, it's permanent damage, right?
And he doesn't have a disengage.
Yeah,
And
and he doesn't
Bazinga
have a
just put a
disengage.
bit of distance between himself and Aulus and just
Exactly. And
gunboated for a good 3 minutes.
And that's where the Le Fantasque actually shines. The moment it gets distance on you and it's still able to, and you're still within its shooting range, that's where it gets its advantage because it's a fast boat. By changing course speed, you can always juke shots, and that's what he did. And the Albemarle doesn't exactly have the fastest reloading guns, and he was only able to use the front turrets,
Yeah,
right? And he took amazing advantage of that. So while I questioned the play, now I understand how it all worked out.
yeah,
But what still doesn't fit into my brain is the Alice region decision of hanging on to that position and not retreating behind that island. He had room where even if the Baltimore did not the Baltimore of, I think it was salty I think it was the Baltimore of amplified sorry, amplitude of, was I think it was Amplitude's Baltimore. He was still within radar range of Amplitude's Baltimore, but even if he radared, there was no chance of any shots being on him. So I don't know why he didn't retreat. That was somehow just doesn't. I think he thought he could take on Bazinga, but he just couldn't.
yeah.
Very very weird.
I think it's just one of those split decisions where there's so much happening, and
Yeah.
your adrenaline's pumping, and you're like, no, I'm not gonna back out. I can do this. I can do this moment.
And to be
And
very honest, we kind of missed the Vladdy on Vladdy action
yeah,
because we were just so focused on the Albemarle and the Fantasque. I don't really know why it had to go down to a ram of all the things.
yeah,
And
it was a bit of a
and
odd one there.
to be very honest, it wasn't a case of desperation for Radioactive, right? Radioactive wasn't in a desperate
Yeah,
position for.
4v3 is easily
Yeah,
manageable.
not just 4v3, even when it was 4v4, when Alice Reigns was still alive, it was not a desperate moment, right? They still
Yeah.
had the middle cap. The center cap, yes, was earning
I
points,
don't
but
honestly
RC could have
I
always
don't
gone
think they
in.
expected that Vlad to push behind that island that aggressively.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be very honest. I don't know what the strategy was from Radioactive there, especially from Alice region. He should have retreated, kept that boat in the game, because even a boat at low health is still a boat in action, and it's still a boat that's denying points to the
Mm-hmm.
enemy. You have to realize all these boats are in the center caps, right, in the rings. So if you're in a ring, you're denying, even if that ring is occupied by the enemy, you're denying points.
Yeah.
And gaining points is denying points is as important as gaining points. Having a ship in hand also loses you points for losing that ship.
Mm-hmm.
So very very questionable play, and both the games that we've seen have been kind of underwhelming,
Yeah.
where decisions have been kind of questionable, pushes have been kind of questionable, holding your position in this case was questionable. So weird end to the tournament, I'd say, Cap. I mean, it's not the end. We still have to figure out who takes the third spot, but
Yeah.
the
Look at
first
that.
position is gone.
Yeah, first position. So the results will update in a bit, folks. Now that was a bro moment. They're gonna finish the league with 8 wins and a loss. Radioactive finished second with 7 wins and 2 losses, and then you have the struggle from third to fifth place, 6 wins, 3 losses apiece, and they've all beaten each other once. So the head-to-head doesn't really go. Then Bichu Gang comes in at sixth, a bit of distance between them and the rest of the pack as well from there on in, folks. But what a fantastic event we've had! So many great plays, so many great memories. And but at last we do have our champions. Now that was a bro moment. They were the favorites going into the first few match days, and they have come out on top in dominant style. A bit of a hiccup against Crazy, or call it a moment of brilliance from Crazy, who actually beat not just Bro Moment, but the reigning champions as well. And there we have it. Now that was a Bro Moment, your champions for Shipfest Season 2. Radioactive comes in second place, and then we're gonna go and figure out what the hell is happening from third to fifth, folks. That's it for this season, guys. It has been a blast bringing you all the action. I'm Cap Nadia. Joining me every day has been Valkyrie, and unfortunately, Fizzkiller couldn't be here with us for the finale. But what an event it's been! A big shout out to LG Ultragear for making all of this possible, and of course, their exclusive partnership with World of Warship. If you haven't already, do check out their ultra wide monitors. There is no way in hell you will go back to playing World of Warships on anything else. Thank you so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoyed this as much as we did, but all good things must come to an end as we close off Shipfest Season 2 with, some great matches, but the overall, feeling is a bit underwhelming, wouldn't you say, Valk?
Yeah, I mean, I was really looking forward to these last two games, to be honest. And I know I joined the stream a little late, but I've been here for
I think
maybe
that's
less
just
than
karma
half an
because
hour.
that's
Yeah,
karma for Valk skipping the first two games and wanting only the exciting one, and then bam, they went like, you know what, Valk, we're gonna punish you for that.
yeah, half an hour, and both the games are over. The ones that I was really, really looking forward to through. I mean, imagine this: all top three places being decided in the last two games. How can
Yeah,
that not be exciting, right?
yeah,
And then both the matches basically end in. I mean, the results were kind of predictable within the first 7 minutes of each game, I would say.
yeah. I mean, considering they ended on the ninth minute,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But still,
So
take nothing away from the teams. They've
yeah,
done a
yeah,
fantastic job to
absolutely.
get here. Sometimes, the pressure is a bit too much. Hats off to the winners. We're gonna be back, later on, hopefully with a third season. Keep your eyes peeled for more information. If you haven't already, do check out World of Warships. It's completely free to play. Head on over to warships.in and sign up for a free account using the code WOWSINDIA, and you'll get a bunch of free ships to start your World of Warships journey. And who knows, we will see you in season 3. That's it from us, guys. Thank you so much for watching. You've been a great audience, and don't forget to subscribe to the Esports Club for more great esports content, and follow World of Warships India for regular updates. I'm Captain Nadia, with me Valkyrie. We've had a blast. We hope you did too. Have a good night.